The boxing world just got rocked by news that nobody expected. Anthony Joshua's car accident sent shockwaves through everyone who follows the sport. What started as scattered reports quickly turned into something much more serious. When the real details came out through verified sources, fans realized this wasn't just another celebrity fender bender. This was something that would change everything. Brutal moment of reality.
All right. So, we have more information regarding the tragic car accident that Anthony A.J. Joshua was involved in, and everything that happened, including details on how the accident itself occurred. First, I want to say rest in peace to those two who passed away due to the accident. Anthony A.J. Joshua's very close and best friends and personal trainers, Latz and Cena. We found out early yesterday that it was indeed those two confirmed as his friends who passed away.
The early hours were chaos. Nobody knew what was really happening as conflicting stories spread everywhere. But once investigators put the pieces together, the timeline became crystal clear. The vehicle Anthony Joshua was traveling in suddenly lost control during what should have been a routine drive. Multiple impact points told the story of just how violent this collision really was.
Traveling at a high speed, trying to maneuver around a vehicle, and lost control and ran into the commercial stationary truck.
From what we got to understand was that there was a trailer that was parked at the shoulder, whereby the vehicle conveying Anthony Joshua and his team did a wrongful overtake, and they ran into that vehicle.
Now here's images of the truck itself that the SUV struck. Very large commercial vehicle.
As reactions came in from the boxing world.
Here's what actually went down according to official reports. Joshua's Lexus was moving at high speed along a Nigerian highway when the driver tried to pass another car. Something went wrong during that maneuver, and the vehicle careened out of control before slamming straight into a parked commercial truck. That single detail completely changed how everyone understood just how devastating this crash really was.
I don't know, man. That was crazy. You know, first of all, rest in peace to both of the gentlemen. I hope they family, you know what I mean, like, could get past that. That's like crazy. I know it's gonna be tough, but I don't know. That was just crazy, you know, looking at it. I mean, I don't know how that happened. I don't know. And I know Anthony Joshua got to feel terrible. You know what I mean? Because they was with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That was a rough jump, man.
When photos of that massive truck started making the rounds, everyone could see the true scale of what happened. This wasn't some minor scrape or bump in a parking lot. We're talking about a full-force collision with something that wasn't going to move an inch. In moments like these, it all comes down to physics and luck, and sometimes luck just runs out.
He tweeted, RF Sinagami and Kevin Latif Shah Latz Iodel. My thoughts and prayers are with their families and friends and AJ.
The reaction from boxing insiders was immediate and raw. Trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back his emotions when he spoke publicly about the loss of Arab Sinagami and Kevin Latif Shah Locks Ado. He also talked about the impossible burden that Anthony Joshua now has to live with, something that goes way beyond anything he's ever faced in any boxing ring.
It's like this is the clearest fixed fight you're ever gonna see. But look at this guy holding his hands up and watch. Watch that. He literally shows him his chin, and he goes down. It's so fake. Look at him, he's got nothing.
I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw, he came to my ears and whispered, please be easy on me. He thought I'm Mike Tyson and I will follow his script 40 seconds after I broke the clown's jaw. We are boxers, not content creators. I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw,
the day after I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that? I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on. I remember one thing, I had a very hard moment in that part of my life. But I assure you, in that age, I could have put that clown in the first round, but I sold my soul. And
You could only take so much. And at a certain, like that one that he got from Joshua, ooh, you know, say if you have like a punch card, you have like so many punches that you can get in your life, which I believe you do. I believe there's a certain number. That one was like 10 punches.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah. It was a lot of concussions in that.
Social media exploded with messages from across the fighting world. Even Jake Paul stepped up to honor the people who died and offer his support to Joshua during this nightmare. It was one of those rare moments when all the trash talk and rivalry just stopped, and everyone remembered they're all human beings first.
You know, I'm going to get out of the way a little bit on this one and let you lead the way, because you knew these men personally and you know Anthony personally, and you've been calling shows in West Africa, not Nigeria, but in Ghana recently. And it's horrible news to be met with before the New Year's for Joshua, who had to be feeling good about his stature being risen in the United States to a new level. And, I would say he was going over there to celebrate, but really him and this man, Latif, they go there frequently all the time. So they weren't even necessarily really celebrating. This is just kind of what they do in Nigeria.
The gravity of the situation became even more obvious when Nigerian President Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu showed up at the hospital to visit Anthony Joshua personally. When a head of state takes time to make that kind of gesture, you know this story has touched something much deeper than sports headline.
But I know you have a lot of deep thoughts about this, Raheem. What do you have to say for the audience?
I think the first thing to get out of the way is just the facts. I'm not on the ground. However, there are some facts about this situation that should be laid very plain. 4 men in the car, Anthony Joshua and the driver survived this accident. Anthony Joshua was sat behind the driver in the back seat. Sitting next to him was one of the men who fatally lost their life in this crash, and sitting next to the driver was the other man. I don't know whether Latif or Cena was in the front or back seat, but if you don't know, they drive on the right side of the road there. So both Joshua and the driver would be on the right side of the car. It has been characterized by the Ghanaian authority. It has been characterized by the Nigerian authorities that the car was speeding and trying to overtake another car, suggesting that they were driving reckless, and then slammed into a stationary vehicle, which means a vehicle that wasn't moving. It was a massive truck. I saw that in a video. There has also been a report that the tire blew out, maybe while they're in the action of overtaking the vehicle, and that is how the driver lost control and slammed into the stationary truck. For context, I've never been on this particular road in Nigeria. However, I have been to West Africa many times. In Ghana, I've been in.
Sean Zittel really drove home the personal devastation when he explained that Joshua didn't just lose random people in this accident. These were his close friends, people who mattered to him. The timing made it even more heartbreaking, since this happened right when everyone was getting ready to celebrate a new year and fresh possibilities. One thing that made this even more tragic was how ordinary everything seemed before it all went wrong. Joshua's visits to Nigeria were nothing special or unusual. He wasn't there for some big celebration or publicity stunt. This was just regular life, which somehow makes the whole thing feel even more terrifying and real.
The precious value of life. Life is precious, and no matter if you make no money, no matter if you make tons of money, sure, your living experience will be different, and some live, quote unquote, better than others, but the gift, the ultimate gift is life. And it didn't matter today that AJ was one of the biggest stars a week ago in the world. It didn't matter that he had this record-breaking boxing match. Didn't matter that he got paid a ton of money. Didn't matter that he was worth a ton of money. Today, all that mattered was God looked down on him and saved his life. And again, unfortunately for the two men that passed, they weren't as fortunate. And I pray for them, I pray for their families, pray for AJ, but it just shows you how precious every day is and how you have to take every day as a reminder that this life is short.
Officials put together a detailed diagram showing exactly how the crash unfolded. Anthony Joshua was sitting directly behind the driver when the impact hit the right side of their vehicle. That positioning explains the difference between who walked away and who didn't make it home that night.
For every second you breathe air, because it can all change in an instant. I can't imagine what AJ, again, you know, obviously the main concern should be the people and the families of those deceased. I can't imagine what AJ is gonna have to deal with in terms of the grief, the emotional strain, the physical anguish. I mean, his two, apparently, according to a lot of the people that are speaking about this, his two of his best friends just died in front of him. You know, things are bigger than boxing right now. I saw everybody reaching out. Tricky Alashake, owner, CEO of the Ring Magazine, Jake Paul, Piers Morgan, everybody around the boxing scene coming together, regardless of what they think of each other. And that's something I love to see in our sport, coming together to send our prayers, send our thoughts.
This tragic accident shows how fragile life is.
Wade Plumman said something that really stuck with people during all the coverage. He pointed out that fame and money don't make anyone immune to tragedy. Even someone as successful as Anthony Joshua has to deal with the same harsh realities that can hit any of us without warning.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic. So big. He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like, his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant.
What really stood out was how the entire boxing community came together. Fighters who usually can't stand each other, media personalities, promoters, everyone from Tricky Alashake at Ring Magazine to Piers Morgan, they all put their differences aside to show support. Sometimes it takes something terrible to remind everyone what actually matters.
Pin him down and hurt him. That has been the request leading up, and that was on my mind. It took a bit longer than expected, but the right hand found.
But then things got even more complicated. Just days after everything happened, stories started spreading that Jake Paul had tried to bribe Anthony Joshua before some upcoming fight. Right in the middle of dealing with this tragedy, Joshua had to deal with more drama and accusations.
Seemed to me like sparring.
Yeah.
When I watched it, which, you know, look, I paid for it. They got me. I thought it was going to be a real fight, but I'm not mad.
$1 million on.
That's the problem. Yeah. That's why, look, maybe it was a real fight. Maybe that's just the level that they both fight at. But you know, it seemed a little sus, you know.
The psychological damage from this accident can't be measured or fixed easily. Imagine watching your closest friends die right in front of you and not being able to do anything about it. No amount of training or mental preparation can get someone ready for that kind of trauma. It's something that stays with you forever.
I mean, I never felt it was anything other than entertainment. I'm not surprised that it, I mean, Anthony Joshua could have knocked Jake Paul out anytime he wanted to. He didn't want to.
So why didn't he?
Because, well, when you're on a platform like Netflix that turns one-part episodes into a 6-part series, why would you think that part of their entertainment model is to have a 30-second fight? Why? You watch a Netflix series, you can watch it and you can go, well, I get the gist of it. Why have you got to turn it into 10 episodes? Because I'm dying with boredom after episode.
Are you telling me that Netflix probably emphasised, listen guys, take this as long as you can?
Anthony Joshua didn't step, irrespective, I sat to all these guys, whether it be Spencer or Paul Smith, talking about the fact that Jake Paul couldn't run, didn't have the footwork to be able to move around the ring.
So nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the 2-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist, a guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god. And you're gonna stand, and he's a one-punch killer, and you're gonna stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till the 6th round. He just started getting tired.
I mean, I told everyone though that I would do better than Francis, and that Francis kind of got no chin.
So
Francis low-key soft.
You made it further than Francis.
Yeah.
So I mean, by he won 6 rounds.
You know what that means?
What?
We got here.
As I look at it, you know, for the fans, it put it put boxing still on the map because it keeps boxing relevant. Having exhibition fights like this, different celebrities and different things like that. I look at it as a fun thing for fans and stuff like that. I don't really take it seriously, because, we in the business of boxing. That right there is just, exhibition stuff. But I'm hearing they say it's a real fight, but yeah, it's a real fight because both guys are getting in a fight. I'm still the one that be thinking
around. I mean, Simon, when you look at it, Jake Paul posted on Twitter after the fight, jaw broken, heart and balls intact. That's a good thing. Time to rest, recover, and return to cruiserweight. I mean, he's coming out of it as if, well, yeah, I got battered in the end, but
This whole situation became much bigger than just boxing news. It forced everyone, fighters, fans, media, to step back and think about what really matters. The cheers died down, the news cycle moves on to something else, but the people who live through this have to carry it with them every single day. When everything was said and done, this tragedy showed just how quickly everything can change. Anthony Joshua survived when others didn't, and now he has to figure out how to keep going. The support from around the world shows that sometimes healing and remembering the people we've lost means more than any championship or victory ever could.